74 years have taken their toll. This is what Jason's camera sees. This is what once was. Seemingly, there's nothing recognizable here. But then, pillars define a room. One of these light fixtures still hangs from the ceiling, suspended both in space and time. The key to the NASCAR craze is the Winston Cup Series. 33 high-powered events that make up the major league of stock car racing. From February through November, it's a weekly rush of driving excitement. 43 racing machines speeding fender to fender at almost 200 miles an hour. It's a sport where the machines are legends and the players are heroes.
Deception, disguise, illusion. All tools utilized by the CIA as they fight a war that takes place in the shadows. Officers, agents, spies. Active pawns in a global game of high-stakes poker. Rescue missions, clandestine escapes, classified operations, resulting in new chances at life, and sometimes death.
Satellites. Do you know what they are? The short answer is anything in orbit around Earth, such as the Moon.
This was not a wave bed. It was debris from the crater itself, the vital clue that Hildebrand needed. The crater must be nearby.
As the Cold War came to a close, much of the Russian Navy was left to rust in peace. Dozens of neglected nuclear submarines sank gently to the bottom of the harbor. For the superpowers, the treaties meant that more than 60,000 nuclear warheads would need to be scrapped. It was to prove much easier for the politicians to say than for the scientists to do.
I felt that it was a violation of international law and that we as a government had an obligation to get the crew and the ship back.
3 days later, on May 15th, American forces were poised to launch a massive attack on a small island called Koh Tang. What they didn't know was that they were about to invade the wrong island. The battle for Koh Tang was part of an international incident known as the Mayaguez crisis. The following story is told by the people who were there and contains never-before-seen secret footage and radio communications of the actual events.
The model for the new Zeppelin may look like an advertising blimp, but underneath, new technology is being applied. Although it only has 12 seats, that number will increase with later models. More than 60 years after the Lakehurst disaster, the dream is coming true again. Passengers flying in airships.
But in India, there are exceptions to every rule. Climbing high into the foothills of the Himalayas is a very special train. The steam train to Darjeeling has carried historic figures like Mark Twain and Mahatma Gandhi. Since it runs on a track only 2 feet wide and passes through the heart of many towns on its daily journey, it is called a toy train. But it is far more than that.
Well, the train is a part of our life. It's very difficult to assess as to the degree of affinity we have towards this train. The train and the tracks and everything, nothing has changed. Everything is the same. Only we are changing.
Though diesel trains preside over India's future, a tiny but proud exception, the Himalayan princess, carries her legacy of steam into the 21st century. Join us for an experience to remember. National Geographic's Great Indian Railway.